What's up, boys? Data782 here with episode 26 of Fixing the Franchise, here with the Anaheim Ducks in the year number 8, 2027 NHL postseason. We are looking for back-to-back Stanley Cups, and in the last episode, we completed our three-peat of back-to-back-to-back President's Trophies with an insane 133-point season, 64 wins. We had 4.3 goals for per games, 2.59 goals against, a power play percentage of 37.6, which is just bonkers, and a penalty kill, which was very respectable, of 81.4 in the top half of the NHL. Devils crazy, 87.5. But we are looking good. We're heading into the playoffs as defending Stanley Cup champions. We have some big boys in the lineup: Eli Tolvanen, Cale Makar, Shane Wright, a lot of players who absolutely tore it up this season. Jesper Helmersson, David Pastrnak, likely in his last games with us now, so we'll probably have to trade him come the draft. Mats Lindstrom put up 51 goals. We are ready for a big postseason, boys. Like always, this episode may be an hour long, but who knows, it may be done in 10 minutes if I lose in the first round. I don't like to spoil it for you, so I just keep the screen black for the rest of the episode for about 50 to 60 minutes if I get eliminated or so, maybe even 70 to throw you off. But we're heading into this one. The lines look like this, with a +3 on the first line. I'm considering, if needed, that my one change that I make if we start to go down in the series will be to change Bickell and Pastrnak, because that'll put +3s on both lines. But these are the lines that got us to our record. I'm going to keep them as they are. I'm happy with them. Jones, Makar, Aho, Clark, Ekman, Bouchard, and of course, between the pipes, Cameron McKinlay with a 50-win sophomore season. First year as our starter. 55-0 wins for him. Gautier's scratch. We have him in the press box. I'm going to call up Sven Bartzy, who's 34 years old. His last shot at a Stanley Cup. We claimed him off waivers, so why not try and get him a cup, put him in the lineup to come and raise it if we can get there. But without further ado, boys, we are taking on the Vancouver Canucks. We usually go through them later in the playoffs because they're usually just behind us for second in the division. But this year we are taking them on right away. Cahoon, Pettersson, Besser, they have a very nice first line, a very nice top six, that's for sure. With Savoie, top 50, Bo Horvat, and Vincent Trocheck right here. And on defense, Quinn Hughes, Rasmus Ristolainen, and everybody. So it is unfortunate that we'll probably have to trade Pastrnak after this playoff run with his the money that he's going to cost. DOUGHTY commenting on the last video that we should definitely trade Pastrnak because Bickell and Sydor are going to be very important players on the team. Maybe trade Pastrnak for a top pick. I do 100% agree with you there. But for now, we're looking to win the Stanley Cup with him. So let's get it going, boys. Game number 1, round number 1, year number 8. Looking for back-to-back Stanley Cups and 3 cups in 8 years. Let's get it going. First period, 0-0 game. Shots 15-6 for the Canucks. Eesh. Second period, 2-0 for us. That's what we like to see. Bugner and Bickell there on the power play. Our power play is what gets us to championships. It gets us all these President's Trophies and all these scoring titles and everything. Without that power play, I don't think we'd be there. A couple power plays there for the Canucks. We kill off the first one, but Hughes scores on the second one. We have a 1-goal lead with 8 minutes left here in the third period. A late power play for the Canucks that we kill off. That was a close one. They have a lot of shots tonight, but we just close it out. Wow, a 40-save performance from Cameron McKinlay for his first start of a playoff game. 40 saves for him. Bickell gets a goal, and of course, Jesper Helmersson. He's always in the mix for the 3 stars of the night as he gets 2 assists here in game number 1. Let's keep it up and go to round number 2. Show the fans at home something a little special. Get them a little excited. Let's go. Game 2, round 1 here at the Honda Center with a nice lead to start off this postseason. First period, 1-0 Canucks, thanks to Dominic Cahoon on the power play. Second period, 2-2 game. Mats Lindstrom scores twice, one coming from the power play. Rasmus Ristolainen scores a power play goal of his own, and this game is tied up at 2 shots. A lot more even this game. Canucks got a power play there. Oh, a long power play. Come on, boys. Very nice penalty kill. Eesh, it was our downfall a bit last season. Our penalty kill wasn't quite strong enough, but this year we've been really putting on a show with that 80+% power play. And it looks like no scoring here in the third period, so we are going to head to overtime. Here in overtime, Pettersson and Wright up against each other at the face-off for overtime number 1 of game number 2 of the first round here. Keeping the 8-minute periods going. Here's a chance. Early Cale Makar Tolvanen, Makar at the point. Back to Tolvanen, doing a lot of passing here in the Canucks zone, and they take it away. What I was saying is that I'm going to keep it at the 8-minute period lengths, because that keeps it from going to double overtime or anything too often, and all that. So hopefully it'll just get done as soon as possible. But I know a lot of you boys are hungry for sports. Tornado Panda was telling me in the last episode that this is all he has right now in quarantine for sports, so I hope that you boys are enjoying some of the live simulation. Shane Wright with the turnover. He's coming the other way on a breakaway. Shane Wright passes it backwards for some reason, but then Pastrnak gets stopped and then poke-checked by DiPietro. That's like some sort of glitch. They can never just take a breakaway and go with it. They have to pass backward. I don't get it. Brand Clark with a nice turnover. Marco Aho up to Mats Lindstrom, the purest sniper in the NHL. 51 goals in this regular season. Oh, scores Mats Lindstrom on a turnover! Out of nowhere! Mats Lindstrom! Oh my, is that a hat trick? Yes, it is. I believe so. Hat trick for Mats Lindstrom as the Ducks take it 3-2. All 3 goals coming from Mats Lindstrom. Out of nowhere. A terrible turnover by Olli Juolevi. Tolvanen couldn't care less. Bang, Lindstrom just puts it in. DiPietro was in shock. And with his 3rd goal of the night, Mats Lindstrom takes this game for the Ducks 3-2, the final. Boy, 3 goals for Lindstrom, 32 saves for McKinlay. What a night. I don't know where we'd be without Mats Lindstrom, man. What an absolute legend he has been. So now we're up 2-0 in this series, heading over to the Rogers Arena in Vancouver. Let's take a stranglehold, boys. 3-0. Don't let them get anything in this series. Let's get some nice break. Let's just win it in 4. We go back in the beaches of California. Just take it easy. Relax. First period, 2-1 Vancouver. Pettersson and Trocheck. Brant Clark scores for us. Second period, 4-2 Vancouver. Cahoon scores twice. Jake Seidor gets one on the power play. We're outshooting them by a couple, but early power play here gets killed off. But we're down by 2 here in the 3rd period. We're getting it back in the shot category now, 29-27. We're leading that category. Canucks kill off another power play, and then Holloway scores to bring that lead to 3. Helmerson brings it back to 2, though. He doesn't want to stop fighting. 3 minutes left in this one. Shane Wright, let's hop in. Down by 1. Shane Wright just brings us within 1. 5-4 Canucks lead. Like I was saying before, let's get some more action going here for the sport-deprived boys. 2:42 left in this 3rd period. Ducks down by 1. Let's fight, boys. Tolvanen to right, all alone. Oh, scores! Oh, but it gets pulled back. Shane Wright, he had all the time in the world. Makes himself a coffee, a couple scrambled eggs, and then takes a shot. But Tolvanen hits off his hand and goes in. But there's no pushing motion. It was a deflection. So it should count. Are they going to count it? Oh, they don't. They don't even go to review? Oh, come on. That is garbage. That should be Eli Tolvanen's goal right there. Oh, we got robbed. The fans here, the EA fans here in Vancouver, all the developers in Vancouver, they're trying to make the Canucks win, that's for sure. They put some code inside of the ref's brain to not let him give us the decision. Jones up to Lindstrom. He was a hero last time. Seth Jones puts it through. Are you serious? Oh, baby! Seth Jones, I don't believe it! Roll the highlight reel! Oh my goodness! Between his legs and brings it back! The audacity to do that! To tie this game up here in game number 3 of the playoffs! I don't believe it! Oh, baby! Wow! Seth Jones ties this game up at 5. Inside, outside. Oh, my! Here's a 2-on-1 for the Canucks. Trocheck. Oh, come on! Oh, come on, Seth. Get me another one. That's Trocheck's 2nd of the night. Ah, that's brutal. 2-on-1. He tries to do a move, loses it. McKinlay lost track of the puck. Bickle was in shock. That was just a weird goal. Oh man, Seth Jones made me lose my voice a little bit there. Wasn't ready for that. Early in the morning here, boys. It's early morning recording. Oh wow. So Trocheck gets his 2nd of the night. And now this game's back to a 1-goal lead for Vancouver, 6-5 game, but we are not done yet, boys. Come on. Antoine Morand, what a year for him this year. Brant Clark, Morand, cycles it down low, terrible giveaway. Lindstrom, giveaway to Donskoy. Savoie gets thrown into another universe, and then he scores. Can you not dive for the puck or skate a little bit faster? He doesn't even shoot. The puck just comes off of his stick as he gets thrown into the boards, and you just skate after the puck. There's no little extra hustle in your step, no dive of the stick to keep it out of the net. If you press L1, R1, you could dive. You don't want to dive, and you even slow down. He even slowed down for a second. Brant Clark, what are you doing? Let's just call it there. 7-5 loss. Canucks take it. McKinlay got lit up a little bit. Seth Jones, the audacity. That's going to be the thumbnail of this video, that's for sure. Alright, so we are now up 2-1 in this series with a brutal 7-5 loss there in Game 3. And now we're going to Game 4. We're still in Vancouver. Show these fans a little bit of a show after last game. Let's get them excited and let's get our fans excited who are coming up from California, just driving north to BC. So first period, nothing. Second period, nothing. Okay. We're out shooting them 27-15. 0-0 game here in the third period. Almost doubling their shots. Come on, boys. Got to break Michael DiPietro. Again, it just shows how goalie overall means nothing. DiPietro's an 85 overall. McKinley's an 83, and they're both putting on shutouts here in the playoffs. So, oh yes, Jesper Helmersson breaks the deadlock with shot number 38 at the night with just over 6 minutes left. Tolvanen gets another himself. The floodgates are open. Tolvanen gets 2 goals within like less than a minute. And we take this game 3-0. 3 goals on 43 shots against Michael DiPietro. McKinley makes a 22 saves for his first career playoff shutout. Tolvanen with 2. Helmersson, of course, with 1. He's always in there. And just like that, we have a 3-1 series lead. Beautiful, boys. That's what we like to see. Heading back to the Honda Center for game number 5. Let's just end it right here. Don't even take another second to think about it. Let's just end it, boys. First period, 2-2 game. Pettersson and Wall. Then Tolvanen and Morand score. 2 for them, 2 for us. We score within about a minute of each other there at the end of the period to go into the second with a 2-2 game. Very nice. Second period, 1 for Wall. It's his second of the night. Shots tied at 22. Vancouver has a 1-goal lead here in the third period. Who's going to tie this game up, boys? I'm looking at you, Tolvanen. I'm looking at you, Jesper. Mats Lindstrom, power play. This is it. Gets killed off. And then Ristolainen scores right after to put that lead to 2 goals now. Then Cahoon makes it 3. Let's just call it a day. Helmersson scores with 1:11 left, but won't be enough. And we drop that game 5-3. All right, boys. So this series now, strained hamstring for Brant Clark. Okay. Who comes in on defense? I forget. It's Caden Gooley. So no one really fits up here. So what if I put Bouchard? No, that doesn't work at all. No, that does not work at all. So let's bring Caden Gooley in here. He'll get his first taste of NHL action, playoff action, that is. And we can't get any pluses going, so we'll just keep the lines like that on the bottom 2 defensive pairs, and Clark should be back soon. He'll be back for round 2. So let's just try and finish off here, boys. Don't let it go to 7. Let's just end it here. Game 6 at the Rogers Arena. Let's just finish it off, boys. No chance we want to risk going to 7. Come on. First period, that's what we like to see. Makar, but then Siegel scores with 33 seconds left. Cale Makar, his first goal of the series. Second period, no scoring. Heading into the third, tied at 1. Shots 22-16 for the Canucks. Let's go, boys. We can get the scoring. We have the scoring. We score 4 goals a game in the regular season. Where is it in the playoffs? Let's go. There it is. Christian Bugner, the third-line center. Beautiful. And then Jesper Helmersson. You need something, just call Jesper. What an absolute playoff monster. Ice in his veins. And just like that, boys, we are off to the second round. A 29 save percentage for Cameron McKinlay. A goal and assist for Bugner, a goal and assist for Helmersson, and we are off to the Western Conference semifinals after taking out the Canucks in 6 games. Jesper Helmersson, 4 goals, 4 assists, and 8 points through 6 games. You love to see it. Tolvanen, Lindstrom, Bugner, all with 6 points per game. 6 points in 6 games, going a point per game. Jones with 5, Makar, Bickle, Seidar, Morand, all with 4. Pasternak only 2 assists, which is a bit weird. Wright only 1 goal, which is also weird, but it was the second line, I think, that got it done. Yeah, most of the second line, and even the third line, actually. Yeah, it's the second and third line got it done. Helmersson shooting 22.2%, and McKinlay went 4-2-0 with a shutout, 919 save percentage, 2.61 goals against. Beautiful. let's keep on simulating now to the second round. We're going to be taking on either the Coyotes, Kings, or Oilers, I think. Jérôme Thibault is injured down in San Diego. Replace him quickly. Okay. No, it's going to be either the Coyotes or Oilers, and then the Kings or the Hawks. So we'll see. Who is it going to be? In round number 2, we are taking on the Arizona Coyotes, of course. Why did I even question? It's Leafs and Hurricanes and Rangers and Penguins down in the Eastern Conference. And then Hawks, Kings, Ducks, Coyotes here in the West. If we can go forward, I'd like to play the Hawks. Haven't played them yet in the playoffs. So once again, we always like to go through the Coyotes. They pretty much look the same as always. They don't have Nick Schmaltz anymore, but they still have Christian Keller, Christian Dvorak, Clayton Keller, Christian Fischer, Barrett Hayton, Brendan Saad. Pretty good team, like, as usual, a nice top 6. Ekman Larsson, of course, Victor Soderstrom, Brett Pesce. They have a pretty solid defensive core. Ekman Larsson getting old, but still has the overall. And in nets, it's Daniil Tarasov. Okay, so maybe that's going to be their weakness. He was 22, 18, and 4 in the regular season. 4-3-0, barely squeaked out a 7-game victory against the Oilers. Because Korpisalo's injured. Okay, so that's actually their real goalie. Okay, so Korpisalo is injured. I think he was out for the entire first round because I think that the other goalie was there for the entire series. Korpisalo's back May 2nd. Torn groin, yikes. So, torn groin May 2nd. He might be back midway through the series. But without further ado, it is round number 2, game number 1 at the Honda Center. Let's keep it rolling, boys, as we continue down this road of dominance. Let's get it done. First period, early goal from Eli Tolvanen. Second period, 3-1. Tolvanen gets his second on the power play. Christian Bugner gets 1. Victor Soderstrom on De Vries. Why is De Vries in nets? Hopefully that's not for any injury reason. Jameson De Vries lets in his first career playoff goal. Third period, we're up by 2 here. Shots are pretty even. Hang on to a slight lead. Wouldn't mind extending it a bit more against an unexperienced goaltender. Nassin gets one on De Vries to bring our lead down to 1 goal. Only a few minutes left here. 2 minutes, 1 minute, hanging on tight, and it will be enough. Just a slim 1-goal victory, 3-2 over the Coyotes here. Tolvanen gets 2. De Vries makes 29 saves. Bugner gets a goal. Hopefully McKinley's not injured. He's not. Okay. So I don't know why De Vries was in nets. Maybe he wasn't feeling too good. McKinley wasn't. Brand Clark, I'm going to keep him out of the lineup because he's just going to get injured if I put him back in. So let's go game number 2, up 1-0 in this series. You'd love to see it. 21 seconds in, Eli Tolvanen, monster. First period ends 1-1 as Barrett Hayton scores a goal of his own. Second period, oh my goodness. Mats Lindstrom gets a hat-trick in the second period. Seth Jones scores 1. Pedro Pacioretty scores 1. Connor Garland gets the lone goal for the Coyotes. But a hat-trick in 11 minutes. 1 goal on the power play, 2 goals on even strength for Mats Lindstrom, the purest sniper in the NHL. We're up 6-2, outshooting the Coyotes 34-10. Antoine Morin gets an early goal. Eli Tolvanen gets another. Back-to-back power play goals, 9 seconds apart. Then Cale Makar 4 minutes later. We're up 9-2, absolutely dismantling and discombobulating the Arizona Coyotes. Outshooting them 49-15. 50 shots now on nets, tripling their shots, more than tripling. Can we hit double digits here, boys? I guess not. 9-2, 52-17 worth of shots in this one. Let's see the 3 stars. Lindstrom gets a hat-trick, Tolvanen gets 2 goals and 2 assists, and David Pastrnak gets 4 assists. Hope everyone got a point in this one. Not even. Helmerson, no points. Wow. Helmerson, McInnes, Ekman, Gooley, Bouchard, Bugner, Anderson, Seider, Aho, all with nothing. Huh. Aho, even a -1. Tough to go -1 with 0 points when you score 9 goals, but hate to see it. Big game from all of these boys. 9-2 victory. Whew. 12 points in 8 games for Eli Tolvanen now, and we are up 2-0 in this series. The Kings are up 2-0 in their series against the Blackhawks. Let's go. Game 3 in Arizona. First period, 1 goal for the Coyotes, Christian Fischer. Second period, 2-1 as we come back. Moran and Pedro Pacioretty. We're up by 1 here in the third period. Eli Tolvanen makes it 3-1. Antoine Morin makes it 4-1. Morin scoring out of nowhere now as he scores his 3rd goal in 2 games or 4th goal in 2 games, but 2 goals tonight at least. Up by 3 with just a few minutes left in this one. I think that's going to be all she wrote as the Coyotes get shamed at their home arena. 4-1 the final. 30 saves on 31 shots for Cameron McKinley. 3 assists for Doug Bickle. And a 2-goal night for Antoine Morand. Beautiful. So let's just finish it off, boys. Let's get a clean sweep of the Coyotes here in round 2. Let's just march straight into the 3rd round. Let's not even stop for a second. First period, 0-0. Second period, 2-1 Coyotes. Kempe and Dvorak score. Mats Lindstrom gets one on Korpisalo. His first game back from a torn groin, as he's going to see if he can bring his team back in this series. He currently has 25 saves on 26 shots, so good for him. Power play, though, and you know that's deadly. Killed off by the Coyotes, respect. But then Doug Bickle ties this game up with just about 9 minutes left. Power play, killed off once again by the Coyotes, 5 minutes left. Outshooting them 35-21. Final seconds, and we're headed to overtime. A goal for us sweeps the Coyotes and puts us into the Western Conference Finals. A goal for them pushes this series to 5, and we head back to Anaheim. Seth Jones, you know, he's been known to do an audacious move once in a while. Shane Wright, one-timer. Huge blocker saved by Korpisalo. Good passing play. Eli Tolvanen leading the playoffs in goals with 8. Lindstrom right back there in 3rd with 6. Oh, wow. So a nice move between the legs the Coyotes do there, whoever that player was. He misses it, and he just skates away. Bickle gets his vertebrae snapped, and then he picks up the puck after Jones gets thrown into their universe. He gets smushed into the boards. What is going on? Pesci, one-timer. Huge blocker save from McKinlay on Nasson. Sidor up to Helmerson. Here goes Jesper. He's playing like a 92 out there. Beautiful stick work, still has the puck. Gooley, his shot goes wide and rings around the rosy all the way back down. Terrible pass, Connor Garland. Huge save, McKinlay. Never pass in front of the net, boys. Hockey 101. Win off the face-off, Makar. Jones, glove save, Korpisalo. Jones picks it off, here we go the other way. Seth Jones, he's been known to dangle once or twice. Puts it in over to Makar one time. Dumps it into the corner for some reason. Okay. Then, okay, Lindstrom breaks it up. In for, come on, rip it, Bello. Come on. The AI is really struggling in this one. Putting the puck into the boards for no reason. Skating away from the puck. I'm cutting a lot of it because it's just garbage, but it's been hard to watch. Nicholas Ekman gets it out. Now here comes Josh Anderson the other way. The 4th line, Jordan McInnes, gets crushed into the boards. Then he just gets up and picks up the puck again. And now here's Christian Bugner, stopped by Korpisalo. Here goes Jake Sidor. In front, Bugner. It's pad save, Korpisalo. One-timer stopped by McKinlay right there. Now here's a chance for Pasternak. Rip it, Bello. Stop. Rebound right. Oh, my goodness. Gotta score the old-fashioned way, boys. Rebounds, crash that net, and cross creases. Big hit from Evan Bouchard. Ekman up to right. Here we go. 3 minutes left in overtime. Classic Pocek takes that puck away. Here we go. Lindstrom, Ekman, Morand in front, boys. On net. Morand, look at Lindstrom. He's right there. Oh my goodness. Ekman destroys him. Oh, how many spines have been broken this game, man? Everyone gets thrown to the boards as if spines are just malleable like Play-Doh. Mats Lindstrom stays on side, does a windmill for no reason, and gives the puck away. Here's Pedro Pacioretty, the pride and joy of Denmark, to Jordan McInnes. McInnes to the point, wide open! Oh my goodness! Hits off somebody. Anderson, the ref's getting run over. Anderson back and rebound, Pedro Pacioretty, come on, Bello! Kuokkanen, big save from McKinlay. 1 minute and 4 seconds left in this overtime. I'm going to fall asleep. Gooley puts it pretty much in his own net, but the ghost of the game doesn't let him cross the line with it because that would be just too crazy, but that was already just crazy enough. And a weak backhand into the glove of Korpisalo for no reason. 30.8 seconds left in overtime. Shots are currently 50-35, and nothing will go in. Now we have it, and Wright gets absolutely concussed as he gets smashed into the boards. First overtime comes to a close. 8 minutes of me sitting here watching nothing happen. Shots are 51-35 in our favor. Second overtime, here we go. Tolvanen, make that pass, bro. He draws in 2 players. Put it on net. Jones, Pasternak, pass it to Makar. He's wide open. All the time in the world. Oh, big save, Korpisalo. Pasternak, and one-timer again! Oh my goodness. Bickle stays on side. Nice little leg play there. In front, scores! scores! Finally, Antoine Morand, the goal scorer himself, and we are off to the third round. I forgot that we're going to the next round with this victory. And with that goal, we sweep the Arizona Coyotes. Bickle stays on side, puts it in front, and Antoine Morand gets the game-winning goal. Pastrnak goes to shake hands with Ekman Larsson. Oh my goodness. We're off to the Western Conference Finals, boys. McKinlay and Korpisalo. Korpisalo making like 50 saves, and his garbage team just couldn't score for him. Oh my goodness. 54-36 are the shots. Korpisalo makes 51 saves. A goal and 2 assists for Antoine Morand. Huge night for him. McKinlay makes 34 saves. Oh boy, we're off to the Western Conference Finals. So the Kings are up 3-2 in their series against the Hawks, but it looks like it wasn't enough, as the Leafs, the Rangers, the Ducks, and the Kings are the last 4 teams standing in the NHL. Malkin and the Rangers, with Dostal and the Maple Leafs. And then, I don't know who's on the Kings. Drew Doughty's 37, he's still there. And then us over here, we're still alive. If Lucas Dostal wins the Cup, I'm going to buzz my head off. That 81 overall goalie that we traded away after he won the Cup with us. The goalies make no sense in NHL, man. But hey, we're in the Western Conference Finals, and that's all that matters. Let's check out the Kings lines and what they have to offer up against us. First line, Philip Forsberg, Brad Lambert, and Vasily Ponomarev. Pretty sure they're pretty much the same as last year. Taylor Hall's 35, still scoring goals like crazy, right? Yeah, 39 goal season for him this year. Pitlick, Anderson, Dolan, nothing crazy. Defense is not that great either, with Bjornfort there. Doughty. Who's in nets? It's Philip Gustafsson, 81 overall goaltender. Wow. Goalies make... Look at the starting goalies of the last 4 teams here. Ullmark and Gustafsson, 81 and 80. Go to Anaheim. Who are their starting goalies? Oh, you can't look here, but it's McKinlay and DeVries, 83 and 81. Let's go to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Who are their starting goalies? 81 and 79. And then who's in New York? I think it's Shesterkin, who's probably he was 85 only, with Lindbaum backing him up at 79. It really doesn't make sense. Goalies mean nothing in their overall, but hey, we're going to take it. Eli Tolvanen has 13 points through 10 games. He is leading our team in points. Behind him is Mats Lindstrom with 12. Morand has 12 and 10. Very nice. Bickle 12. Pastrnak 12. Helmerson 9. Antoine Morand, big playoff performer. What's his career playoff numbers? He has 54 points in 77 games in the playoffs. Very respectable. Very, very respectable for Antoine Morand. Right. Only 1 goal so far for Jake Sidor, which is a bit weird. Pastrnak, no goals for him either. 10 assists. But okay, boys, no points for the 4th liners either, except for Pedro Pacioretty, who has 3 points. But we'll keep it up like that. 4th line could be better for sure. But here we go up against the Kings. I just want to get through this. I've been sitting on this couch for so long, simulating that game against the Coyotes. Hopefully this episode isn't even that long yet, but it is game 1 of round 3 at the Honda Center up against the LA Kings. We had 21 more wins than in the regular season. Our rivals here in California. Let's go. First period ends 2-1. Ponomarev and Spence score on us. Kyle Makar gets 1. They have 2 goals on 6 shots, all right. Second period, there we go, 3-2. Shane Wright shorthanded, and Antoine Morand turning on the Jets the last few games. Beautiful. Out shooting the Kings 35-14, but it's just a 3-2 game. Power play for the Kings. King Arthur Kaliev makes it 3-3. Not even on the power play, it was just after. We kill off their next power play, then Eli Tolvanen, okay. Brings us back to a 1-goal lead. Doubling the Kings' shots, but only leading by 1. 44-22. Are the shots. 5-3, Eli Tolvanen, his 2nd goal in 6 minutes. Beautiful. Thank you, Eli. All right, call it a day. 5-3 victory in game 1. Just pulled it out. Goal and 3 assists for Makar, 2 goals for Tolvanen, and a shorthanded goal for Shane Wright. Up 1-0 in this series. Thank you very much. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put Brent Clark in the lineup after we finish the series against the Coyotes. That's what I should go do right now. That's for sure. So Bouchard and Ekman, they played well. Yeah, they did well. But bring these guys out. Who's doing better? Gouli has a +3 through 6 games. Aho has done nothing. That's because Gouli's playing more, filling in for Clark, right? What if I put Clark here, and then I fill in Gouli for Aho here? Let's see what happens if I do that. Try it out. Keep it a +1, right? Yeah, it does. All right, so Brent Clark is back in the lineup. Big presence as an 83 overall defenseman. Sorry that I forgot to put you back in earlier, my friend. Jerome Thibault is back in San Diego. Beautiful, but I think we're done. Yeah? Oh yeah, we got eliminated in 5 games. Great. Just like always in San Diego. Doesn't make sense. We lose every year in the first round, but okay. Don't really care. Game number 2 of the Western Conference Finals here. Let's go. First period, 2-0. Shane Wright and Doug Bickle. Second period, 3-1. Cale Makar scores for us. Marchment gets a power play goal on McKinlay for them. Shots are tied at 23. Early power play for the Kings that we kill off. We have a 2-goal lead to preserve here in the third period. Let's keep it up. Eli Tolvanen. Can't say his name enough. Just keeps coming up. What a trade that was. I loved that we were able to pick him up from the Predators. 4-1 is the lead, and that's going to be all she wrote. Another empty netter there from Mats Lindstrom as we win 5-1. McKinlay makes 33 saves. Tolvanen gets a goal and 2 assists, and Mats Lindstrom gets a goal and an assist. 18 points in 12 games for him, and heading into Game 3, we're up 2-0 in this series. The Leafs are up 2-0 in their series. That's bonkers, man. I don't know how they do it. Let's go. First period, 2-1. Pastrnak scores twice. Sillinger scores for the Kings. Second period, Mats Lindstrom, 53 seconds in, makes it 3-1. We are leading shots 35-15. We are just shutting them down. We kill off a 5-on-3 power play. Beautiful. We are just shutting down the Kings right now. What are we on right now? A 5-game win streak or something like that? Antoine Morin, there he is, eating it up. 4-1 lead. And that will be enough, I believe. 44 shots on net right now. That'll be all she wrote. 4-1 victory for game number 3. Pastrnak gets 2. McKinlay gets 27 saves. Morin a goal and an assist. We are flying. The boys are buzzing here, boys. I wish I had more commentary to say, but there's just nothing to say. We're heading into... Oh, you know what? It's May now, so I need to take a quick pause and update the scouting. But it looks like the Leafs are close to sweeping the Rangers. So, quick pause right here to go update my scouting, and then we'll be back. Oh boy, that took a good 20 minutes or so, but hey, let's get back into this. We're up 3-0 in this series against the Kings. Western Conference Finals. Let's sweep it and go take on, most likely, the Toronto Maple Leafs. We lost against them for the Stanley Cup years ago, and now we want retribution, but let's get through the Kings first. First period, 0-0. Second period, 1-1. Philip Forsberg on the power play for the Kings, and Eli Tolvanen for us, 2 former Nashville Predators. This game is tied at 1, shots 26-14 in our favor. We just need 1 goal to push us through to the Stanley Cup Finals here. Come on, boys. Halfway through this third period, Mats Lindstrom. Don't even dare say his name if it's not with scores right after it. Mats Lindstrom. 4 minutes left, 2 minutes, 1 minute, and that'll be all she wrote, boys. And I pressed go into the game with 2 seconds left, but I guess because the EA algorithms do not let you for some reason, it did not let me. So I guess we don't get to go see the Prince of Wales trophies this Clarence S. Campbell trophy this year, boys, but you know what would have happened? No one would have touched it anyways. Sorry about that. EA didn't let me go in, but we take a slim 2-1 victory as Mats Lindstrom gets the game-winning goal for us, and we are into the Stanley Cup Finals. I would have liked to go in and see that. Oh man, but just classic EA garbage will not let you. Leafs are up 3-1 in their series, but I have a feeling that it's going to end any day here as soon as it gives us that message that we are into the next round of the playoffs. Oh, it's 3-2 in the series now. Are they going to give us that message? Yes, they will. It went to 7, but the Leafs win 3-2 in Game 7. And we are taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs for the Stanley Cup. We had lost to them, I think, 4 years ago or so when they won the Stanley Cup. And they have a good team here. Zane Robbins is a monster. He scores goals like a machine. Nylander, Nicholas Robertson, who's an 89 overall, and Mitch Marner on the first line. Kachuk, Bracco, and Gusev. Kajula, Phillips, Robbins, Leipzig, and Andrew Shaw. Defense, Riley and Liljegren, monstrous. Sandin and former Anaheim Ducks Shea Theodore, pretty wild. And then Hua and Kylington, quite good as well. Lucas Dostal is their starting goaltender. He went 33-21 and 10 in regular season. In the playoffs, he has gone 11-4-1 with 2 shutouts. Last year, he went 16-3-2 to the Stanley Cup. Lucas Dostal, don't do this to me, man. I gave you your cup. I gave you a nice team to go to, but now it's time to let me win, okay? 20 points in 14 games for Eli Tolvanen, 18 for Morin, 17 for Lindstrom. Crazy numbers here. In nets, how's McKinlay doing? He's 12-2-0, 1 shutout, 931 save percentage, 1.97 goals against average. The former 6th round pick getting it done here. Boys, For the second straight year, we are in the Stanley Cup Finals. We want our third cup in 8 years. We want back-to-back Stanley Cup championships. We want to fix this franchise, and that would be quite dynastic to win 3 cups in 8 years. Let's get it started tonight at the Honda Center up against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Here we go. First period, early goal from Mats Lindstrom. Second period, 2-1. Eli Tolvanen on the power play. Drake Caggiula scores for the Leafs. Early power play for Toronto. 5-on-3, 5-on-4. Nylander scores on the power play. This game is tied at 2. Come on, boys. Doug Bickell. There it is. The sniper's getting it done. I need my snipers up here. Doug Bickell gives us that 1-goal lead as Toronto is getting a lot of shots on net, but we are standing strong. Will it be enough for game number 1 victory? It will. Doug Bickell adds another one. Even strength, that is. And it is a 4-2 victory. 2 goals and an assist for Doug Bickell. 39 saves for Cameron McKinlay. A goal and 2 assists for Mats Lindstrom. We take game 1 4-2. And that now gives us how many straight victories? 10, I think? Because we swept the Kings. We swept the Coyotes. And then we won 1 game. So that's 4, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 straight victories here in the playoffs. We are 13-2 on a 10-game winning streak here in the postseason. Game 2 in Anaheim. Let's take a 2-0 series lead with both games at home. Let's go. First period, 2-0 Ducks. Mats Lindstrom and Doug Bickell. I'm saying the same names every episode, man. These guys are just monsters. I mean, every simulation. Second period, 3 goals, 2 from Helmerson, 1 from Tolvanen. Kachuk gets 1. We're up 5-1 heading into the third period here. Early power play for the Maple Leafs. Mitch Marner gets a goal, not on the power play, but just after it. So our lead is cut to 3 halfway through the third period, but I think we have enough. Come on, boys. 3-goal lead with 6 minutes left. Yeah, that's it. That'll be it, boys. We take both games at home here at the Honda Center. Whew, and we're up 2-0. 2 goals for Helmerson, 29 saves for McKinlay, a goal and assist for Lindstrom. Boys, what a path this has been. What a path. We have won 11 straight games. It's very fitting. After a 64-win season, we are just dominating the playoffs. Barely going into any simulations, not stopping for any line changes, just powering our way through. First period of game 3, Argachibism scores on McKinlay to put the Leafs up by 1. Second period, they hold their 1-goal lead, but now it's 2-1 as Nylander scores for them and Pastrnak scores for us. One of his last goals in a Duck uniform, perhaps. In the third period here, down by 1. Power play, Jesper Helmerson, power play goal. What a beauty, as this game is tied at 2. Shots are tied at 26. Let's go, boys. Come on. Are we going to push it to overtime? We just might. But is there going to be a late hero? No late hero. We are headed to overtime here in game number 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Overtime in game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals up against the Toronto Maple Leafs. A goal for us puts us up 3-0 in this series. Goal for Toronto cuts our lead 2-1. Big save from McKinlay on the one-timer in front there. Now here we go the other way. Cale Makar up to Pastrnak. Pastrnak to Shane Wright. Oh, he gets hit hard by Captain Morgan Riley. Without Matthews and Tavares on this team now. Dooley. Bugner stopped by the glove of Dostal. Bugner in front. Sidor. Big save from Lucas Dostal. It's tough to have to score on him after what he did last year and how he came up in this system. A draft pick of the real Anaheim Ducks. Played in San Diego. Played as a backup. Won us a Stanley Cup as a starter. It's difficult to have to score on him now. But got to do what you got to do. Here's Phillips. Big save from the shoulder of McKinlay. Very nice. Now here's Tolvanen with a pick off the other way. Here we go. Eli Tolvanen. He's with Helmerson. Put it on net below. Doesn't want to. Evan Bouchard to Sidor. Tolvanen off. My goodness. Can't get the shot off. Pastrnak to right. Back to Pastrnak. To Tolvanen. Oh, big save from the pad of Dostal. One-timer. Another huge save from Dostal. As Pastrnak had a huge one-time opportunity there. Here is Liljegren to Morgan Riley. Big blocker save by McKinlay. Had a wide open lane on the 440. Ripped it down. And McKinlay stopped it. Liljegren. Oh, one-timer. That's a nice goal. Oh, man. Traffic in front. Put it to the side at an open lane. Goalie wasn't ready for it. The 440 was wide open right once again, and he just gunned it. So bang, yeah. With that goal, the Leafs bring this series within 1 as we now have a 2-1 game series lead. Dostal makes 32 saves on 35 shots. McKinlay made 34 saves on 37, but just not enough. 23 points in 17 games for Eli Tolvanen with 14 goals. At Scotiabank Arena for Game 4, let's take a 3-1 series lead. Don't let them tie it up with 2 boys. Let's keep the pedal to the metal. Here we go. First period 0-0, second period 2-0. That's what we like to see. Christian Bugner, Eli Tolvanen's 15th goal of the postseason. We are up 2-0 here in the third period, being outshot 31-21. 5-on-3 power play for the Leafs, of course. Zane Robbins is going to score there. Still on the power play, the Leafs are. And another power play goal. 2 power play goals for Zane Robbins in 2.5 minutes. Power play for us, and Eli Tolvanen scores one of our own. That's his 16th of the playoffs. Then we kill off the Leafs power play, thankfully. Holding a 1-goal lead. Come on, boys. Huge game. Huge game. Hang on tight. And we do, as Mats Lindstrom adds an empty netter. Always a bit scary when you see that empty netter get scored. Not sure if it's for you or not. Mats Lindstrom, and we take this game 4-2. McKinlay makes 40 saves. 2 goals for Tolvanen, 2 goals for Zane Robbins. And we now have a 3-1 series lead. We are what, 15-3? 15-3 are we? Yeah. 15-3 here in the postseason as we look to win the Stanley Cup on home ice. Here up against the Toronto Maple Leafs at the Honda Center for our 2nd cup in as many years and our 3rd in 8 for retribution for them taking the cup away from us all those years ago. Let's do it. First period, oh my goodness, we want the cup. We are hungry tonight, boys. Cale Makar scores a hat trick in 9 minutes. A 9-minute first period hat trick for Cale Makar. Took him 15 total minutes, 9 minutes between goals. And Shane Wright gets one of his own just to say, hey, I'm here too. 4 goals, 4-0. Second period, still a 4-goal lead. Jesper Helmersson on Blomqvist, who's now in nets. Phillips scores on McKinlay. We're up 5-1, outshooting Toronto 29-10, tripling their shots. Up by 4. Boys, this should be it. This should be it, boys. Take me home. 4-goal lead. 12 minutes left. Power play for Toronto. And William Nylander scores to make it 5-2. Not on the power play. Another power play for Toronto. We kill it off. Oh, David Pastrnak seals it. Boys, we are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. 6-2 as Pastrnak adds another one. Oh my goodness, let's hop in and end it. 59 seconds left here in Anaheim. We got the Mighty Duck jerseys out. Boys, we are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. Let's end it off. And for some reason, Dostal's coming back in nets after Blomqvist didn't let in any goals since the simulation started. And I guess they just want to shame him for the end of the game for some reason. That's pretty disrespectful of Toronto. Eli Tolvanen, man, 16 goals for him here in the playoffs. Who's gonna win the Calder, eh? Either Eli Tolvanen or Cameron McKinlay. I think it's a lock between one of those two. Cast your votes in the comments, boys. Make it in your head who's going to win the Conn Smythe here. Because right behind him, there's a lot of point scorers behind Tolvanen who didn't score as many goals but got just as many points pretty much. And it also counts on their performance in the Stanley Cup Finals. Remember when Crosby won it last year, it said he had 2 goals, 4 assists. Or something like that, I think, in the series. Final seconds here, boys. 6.3. Turn the volume on the TV up. Let's hear him count it down. Top 10 in hits. Even Shane Wright, big hitter. 48 hits for him. All right. The fans are counting it down, and that's it, boys. The Anaheim Mighty Ducks, back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. With 3 cups in 8 years, I believe that this franchise has been fixed. We have carried them to glory. Oh my goodness, we've done it. What a ride. 64 and like 13 in the regular season, 16 and 3 in the postseason as we take down the Leafs in 5 games. Some boys getting their first cups, some getting their second, and I think there's even, are there any people here getting their third cups? I don't think there's anyone here getting a third cup. No. There's a few people getting their second cups, that's for sure. Everyone who was here last year gets a second cup, and then I think it's Anderson and Gooley and Aho who all get their first cups. DeVries gets his first cup there as backup. There's a few guys. But man, oh man, the core pretty much stayed the same, and we stuck together for another Stanley Cup. Now, who is the Conn Smythe winner on this team? Gary, come out and tell me, Gary. Gusev. Yeah, you used to always beat Gusev on the Oilers. Now he's on the Leafs. And oh my goodness, it's Mats Lindstrom. Woo-wee! 2 goals, 3 assists in the Stanley Cup Finals. He put together a great postseason, and Mats Lindstrom, Conn Smythe champion, very well deserved, on this team for a very long time. Now, who's going to get the cup? We have 3 alternates on this team. I think it's going to be David Pastrnak. Let's leave it up to Gary. Hello, Anaheim! Everyone's booing him, boo. It is my honor to present the Stanley Cup for the 2nd straight season to the Anaheim Ducks. Everyone starts cheering, woo. Everyone's sitting down, they couldn't care less. So it is my honor to call over, I don't know who it is. Oh, someone who doesn't even have an A on his jersey. Bickle, there it is. Doug Bickle, come get the Stanley Cup. A random rookie with no letter on his jersey. He is the one who hoists the Stanley Cup. Great job, EA. Doug Bickle. In his, 3rd season with us? I have 3 alternates and none of them hoisted first. That makes sense. Okay, who gets it second here? Number 56, it's Brandt Clark with his 2nd Stanley Cup. Beautiful. A very good two-way D who is becoming something special in this franchise. Who gets it next? It is Pedro Pacioretty, the pride and joy of Denmark. They love it. They're going crazy. It's 4 in the morning in Denmark. They're jumping up and down. They're sending fireworks off their roofs. They're dancing in the streets for Pedro Pacioretty. Big Pedro. Great 4th line center. And now here comes the man himself, Cameron McKinlay, the 6th round draft pick 7 years ago. Was in San Diego. He was our backup. He got 50 wins this season. And he is a back-to-back Stanley Cup champion. Boys, get your cameras, get your phones. There's Seth Jones with his A on his jersey. I'm happy that you see Pastrnak as well. Take a screenshot, take a pic. It'll last a lifetime. What a night for Makar. 3 goals and an assist, 2 assists for Jones, goal and assist for Helmerson. I'm really upset that it wasn't Jones or Pastrnak that came to get the cup. Man, I guess that's another EA glitch. You have to name a captain, or else no one's gonna go get it. I wonder who went to get. I should see if they had let me go in and see when I won the Campbell Trophy. I would have known that for the future. But 26 points in 19 games for Eli Toven. He led the team in scoring, but I guess he didn't do as much in the Cup Finals. And what did Lindstrom do? He had 25 points, just 1 less. So Mats Lindstrom had a better performance in the finals. That's why he gets it over Tolvanen. Moran was over a point per game. Makar was over a point per game. Bickle was a point per game. Antoine Moran, what a monster as well. And then in Nats, Cameron McKinlay going 16-2-1 with a shutout, 932 save percentage. I would have given him the Conn Smythe, I think. 2.04 goals against average. Cameron McKinlay, what a performance. Makar, Pastrnak, Helmerson, Seth Jones at the age of 32 wins his 3rd cup, because I think he won one with Columbus. Pastrnak wins the cup here at the age of 31, his last game with Anaheim most likely. Bugner, Seidor, Pacioretty, all the boys down here. Anderson signed that 1-year contract, he wins the cup with us. Goulet in his rookie year. Evan Bouchard wins his 1st cup with us, but I think the Oilers I think he won one with the Oilers. Aho gets one as well. What a year, boys. Let's just end it off. I'm sure it's been a long episode, so let's just end it off. Sim to the draft, see the draft lottery, retirements, and all that good stuff. Sven Barchi never played a game, but I don't know if his name won't be on the cup, but he got to come down and lift it, that's for sure. I didn't even think about Sven Barchi. Anaheim Ducks win the Stanley Cup. Bakersfield Condors win the Calder Cup. Salary cap's up to $100.5 million, which is good for us, which we're pretty tight up against the cap. Ottawa goes from 5-1. Tampa Bay from 8-2. San Jose from 2-3, as the draft lottery results are right there. Boston drops from 1-4. You hate to see that. Draft class, nothing new to see there. Player retirement, no one from our team, so let's see who retired. Evgeny Malkin calls it a career. 1,635 points in 1,484 games. What a career for him at the age of 40, calling it a career. Quite a good season as well. 41 points in 66 games for him. Good final year with the Rangers. Made it to the conference finals. Kopitar retires at a 77 overall with the Flames. 1,390 points. Assist machine. No, I'll talk about assist machines. Look at Nicholas Backstrom. 972 assists. Calls it a career at the age of 39, 1,294 points. Big names this year. Ryan O'Reilly, Max Pacioretty, James Van Riemsdyk, Kadri, Bailey, Stepan, Johansson, Mike Hoffman, Frolie, Kevin Shattenkirk, Evgeny Dadonov, Paul Byron. Man, and in nets, any big goalies retire this year? Semyon Varlamov, Jakob Markstrom, Martin Jones, Antti Ranta, Cam Talbot, Dustin Tokarski, legend. Good career for Semyon, yeah, 379, 356, and 76 with 44 shutouts, not bad. So some big names retiring, that is for sure right there. And now let's just check out the awards as we head into the draft here. Ryan O'Reilly is now a coach, that's cool. Anyone retire from San Diego? I know that they did. It's always a guarantee that someone did. No, for the first time ever, no one retired. That's cool. Don't care about the draft interviews. Trade block I'll figure out next episode. And let's check out the awards. So Stanley Cup for the second time in as many years goes to us, the Anaheim Ducks. President's Trophy, our third straight. Clarence S. Campbell, our second straight. Prince of Wales, the Leafs, second time in 3 years. Third time in 5 years. 6 years. No, third time in 5 years, yeah. Individual awards, Art Ross, Connor McDavid, and Eli Tolvanen, because they tied for points. I don't know why it doesn't give them co-titles. That doesn't make sense. Hart goes to Eli Tolvanen for the second straight year. James Norris goes to Cale Makar for the 5th straight season. Third with us, I think, or yeah, third with us. Lady Byng to Tolvanen as well for the second straight year. Calder to Nagy. Conn Smythe, I don't know why it didn't go to that goaltender. Nagy doesn't make sense. I guess they don't like giving it to goalies. Conn Smythe to Mats Lindstrom, Vezina to Matt Murray, Jennings to Matt Murray, Masterton to Clefbaum, Jack Adams to the coach of the Kings, Selke to Nico Hischier, Ted Lindsay to Tolvanen for the second straight season, and Maurice Richard to Connor McDavid. No awards down in the minors. Keatley put 58 points. I don't really care much about San Diego anymore these days. But that's it for this one, boys. Stanley Cup champions. We end off by looking at the progress reports through this season. Who is looking good? Moran growing. He's at an 87. Wright's at a 91. Looking good, boys. Very happy. Helmerson at a 90. Lines are look different next year. Bugner at an 83. Bouchard is going to be gone next season, unfortunately. Bickle's at an 88. In the system, who grew this year? Francisco Cahill is up to a 67. That's good. He had 70 points as an offensive defenseman. Hoffman 66. Cronwall. Philip Wyman at a 70 overall. Okay. Kim Persons at a 60. Colin Reyes. He was a 7th round pick. He had 117 points in the OHL. Wow. 77 overall. He could be a gem who's going to be in our system in San Diego next year. You can see all the overalls here, these people, as we go by. Some good players in the system. Keatley went up to a 78. We got him in a trade. Next year we're going to have Bednar, probably going to trade Bednar, and Tanovich will be the starter, and probably make Verkunen the backup in San Diego as Person continues to grow. So that's it for progress reports. On the trade block, all I'm going to do is fix it so that I put David Pastrnak on the block. So let me know, do you think I should trade Pastrnak, and what do I get for him? Do I trade for the first overall pick, which could be Vince Bell, a right winger, maybe a two-way forward, put up 106 points in 67 games? Do I go for this guy, Chad Kearns? Peacock used to be first overall, now he's dropped to 3. He could be a gem. Edwin Peacock, a left-wing sniper. Kearns, Holden. So do you think I should trade for a draft pick if that is what I'm going to do? / what do we do in the contract situation? Because now with all, let's go to all expiring and we look right here. So I have how many extension dollars? I have $7.9 million of extension, and I'm not going to sign Bouchard and Anderson. So that means I have about like $11 million to play with or so. So if I sign Bickle, and so Bickle's going to want 8.2, Sidor wants 9, and Brandt Clark wants 5.4. So I'm not going to be able to sign all those guys. So that means I go to my main roster, who's costing me a lot of money. I trade someone up here. I trade either David Pastrnak or Seth Jones probably. And I don't think I need to trade Jones / really want to that much. I think David Pastrnak has to go with all the scoring on this team. So if you'd like that idea, just confirm it with me. If you have any alternative ideas, let me know. Do you think I should trade for a prospect, a really good prospect maybe? Or should I trade for a draft pick? Because if I go and search, like let's say, I don't need scoring, let's say a young defenseman who's really good. Let's say like an 86 overall defenseman, someone who's young. and who has contract term left and a good contract. This guy's making 7.4. Oland. This guy's 88 overall, 23 years old, offensive defenseman. Okay, maybe I trade him to the Panthers, Pastrnak, and get Liam Oland. That would be an idea. I could get, he has 5 years left. That's good. Bowen Byram has not only 2 years left. Liljegren has 2 years left. Cristiano Ling wouldn't be a bad option either to the Canadiens. He's an offensive defenseman. Didn't do as much though. I think Oland's the guy I prefer more. Rasmus Sandin wouldn't be bad either. He puts up good numbers, but I don't know if I want to trade Pastrnak to the Leafs. Yeah, so boys, do I trade him for a draft pick or do I trade him for Liam Oland or some other young defenseman? Let me know your thoughts, boys, but we are Stanley Cup champions for the second straight season. This franchise is fixed, and to be honest, I think I'm just going to do just a little bit more before we call it a series and I move on to my next series. I'll probably sim all the way to 2045 or 2044 once we really call it and we just blaze through. But for full simulation of draft and season and everything, I think next year might be my last one. So let's gear up for another cup run and make it 3 in a row and 4 out of 9, boys. Thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button as I continue to pump out all this NHL content for all you boys in quarantine. I hope you're enjoying it. Let me know what you'd like to see, and I will see you in the next one.